All right, let's get on with tonight's Bible study. How's everybody doing? And we are continuing on with Nebuchadnezzar and his calling to salvation. Who would have known that Nebuchadnezzar was called to salvation, as Nebuchadnezzar was just a lost sheep when he took Israel into captivity? All part of God's plan, of course. But this is when he became found. Let me load that other video real quick. All right, let's get on with Daniel, Nebuchadnezzar's call to salvation. Then Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, according to Nebuchadnezzar's pagan world, was astonished for 1 hour, and his thoughts troubled him. And the king said to Daniel, well, excuse me, Belteshazzar, same. Don't let the dream or this interpretation trouble you. Daniel slash Belteshazzar answered and said, My Lord, the dream be to them that hate thee. In other words, people that hate you are going to love this interpretation. And the interpretation thereof to thine enemies. King's English, you know. That's how they spoke back in the 1600s. The tree that thou sawest, which grew and was strong, whose height reached unto the heaven. See previous studies. Obviously, you're watching these on the playlist, so you know how I've already told you what this is all about and the context of all of this. The tree that thou sawest, which grew and was strong, whose height reached unto heaven, and the sight thereof to all the earth, whose leaves were fair and the fruit thereof much, and then there was meat for all, under which the beasts of the field dwelt, upon whose the branches of the fowls in the heaven had their habitation. It is thou, O king, that art grown and become strong, for thy greatness is grown and reacheth unto heaven, and thy dominion to the end of the earth. And whereas the king saw a watcher and an holy one coming down from heaven, see previous study, and saying, Hew down the tree and destroy it, yet leave the stump of the roots thereof in the earth, even with a band of iron and of brass and of tender grass in the field, and let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beasts of the field, till 7 times pass over him. This is the interpretation, O king, and this is the decree of the Most High, which is come upon my lord the king, colon, good Lord willing, we'll get to that study on Monday. Continuing on in Matthew 9. And behold, a certain of the scribes said within themselves, This man blasphemeth. And Jesus, knowing their thoughts, wherefore think ye evil in your hearts? And Jesus, knowing their thoughts, said, Wherefore think ye evil in your hearts? Oof, that's tough in the King's English, boy. For whether it is easier to say, Thy sins be forgiven of thee, or to say, Arise and to walk. So he gave the man the ability to walk, and they're all saying how evil he was. But that ye may know that the Son of Man hath both power on earth to forgive sins, then saith he to the sick of the palsy, Arise and take up thy bed and go to thine house. And he arose, departed to his house. But when the multitude saw it, they marveled and glorified God, which had given such power unto men. And then Jesus passed forth from thence. He saw a man named Matthew sitting in the receipt of the custom. And he said unto him, Follow me. And he arose and followed him. And we are reading of the book of Matthew. So this was when Matthew was called up and arose and followed him. And it came to pass, as Jesus sat at mealtime in the house, behold, many of the publicans and sinners came and sat down with him and his disciples. And when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto his disciples, Why eateth your master with publicans and sinners? But when Jesus heard that, he said unto them, They that behold need not a physician, but they that are sick. So Matthew 3, if we go over here to the Bible study, we did end with Matthew 2. Okay, I mean Matthew 9, 2. Just wanted to make sure. All right. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. I love you very much. Ask questions anytime. That's what I'm here.